All right, what are we going to talk about today? We're getting ready for Shabbos, the last Shabbos of the year. The tzaddikim will say that however you conduct yourself on that last Shabbos, it's like it fixes the whole year. But it makes sense to say something like that. It's not absurd to have an idea like that. Kedushas Levi in Parshas Kisiso, he says, "V'shamru b'nei Yisrael es Shabbos lasos es Shabbos." That the children of Israel kept the Sabbath to make the Sabbath. So what does that mean? That he points out that there seems to be a contradiction between the Jerusalem Talmud and the Babylonian Talmud. The Jerusalem Talmud says if you keep one Sabbath, if all the Jews would keep one Sabbath, Mashiach would come. And the Babylonian Talmud says it takes two Sabbaths, if all Jews would keep two Sabbaths. So Kedushas Levi explains that really one leads to the other. That if you keep one Sabbath, it's going to make the next Sabbath, it's going to make it easier to make the next Sabbath. So that's what it means for V'shamru b'nei Yisrael es Shabbos lasos es Shabbos. The children of Israel kept the Sabbath to make the Sabbath, to make Shabbos. What do you mean? That by virtue of the fact that we keep one Shabbos, that gives us the energy, the capability in the coming week to make the next Shabbos. I only have 25 minutes left on my phone. I don't understand that. Excuse me. So, based on that, Moshe Wolfson from Torah Das and Emunas Yisrael, he said that every Shabbos, we can always say this is the greatest Shabbos ever in history because each Shabbos is building up from all the previous Shabboses. Next week, Shabbos will be a new year. I remember Tzimmer Zilberberg, Zilkazunzai. He would, when the new year was coming, he would say, that it's going to have, each year has its own special energy, its own special power. So you say something like, Yormid Tov Shin Ein Chesdike Koiches. That's Reb Tzvi Meir, big tzaddik. And we have these koiches that we can grab onto, that we can attach ourselves to, but also the end of the year is also very special. Samarov would always say that at the end of the year we have to thank Hashem for the year that just ended. Not so simple. We have to be thankful and so happy for all the wonderful things that happened this past year. It's not just like, it's often quoted from Samarov, really comes from his ancestors as well. Every year we think this is going to be the year, and at the end of the year we just see it's a year. And he had many different drushes on that. But it's not all that we're talking about. We still have to be thankful for the past year. Belzer Rav pointed out that every weekday in Shemona Esrei we say, at least by the Ashkenazim, we say Baruch Aleinu Hashem Elokeinu es Hashana Hazais. We say, Lord, bless this year. So what about that last mincha the Yadav Erev Rosh Hashanah, the last mincha of the year. Baruch Aleinu Hashem Elokeinu es Hashana Hazois. Lord our God, I remember I heard this from Moshe Weinberger. Lord our God, bless this year. But the year's only maybe 5 minutes left to the year. They ask you to bless this year. Yes. Bless this year. Meaning retroactively. And all the seeds that we planted this year should grow in the next year and in the future. So bless Lord our God this year. Even though we only have a week left to the year now, less than a week, a few days left to this year. Lord, bless this year. And we can have that in mind on Wednesday when we daven mincha. Baruch Aleinu Hashem Elokeinu es Hashana Hazois. Bless this year. Meaning, not next year. That's going to start, when we're davening mincha on Wednesday. We're not talking about bless this year that's going to start in 5 minutes. We're talking about bless this year that's ending right now. It could still be blessed. Like I said, if you might have seen the service at the nursing home, it's beficha b'vol chilas also. It's in your mouth and your heart to do it. We can talk good things for the rest of this year. I remember when the secular year was ending, and everyone was like, "Oh, what a lousy year, 2016! Look at all the famous people who died, and this and that, and blah blah blah." And they say, the thing is when you talk like that, you create that, right? Abracadabra. I create when I speak. That's what that means in Aramaic, even though there are other interpretations in other languages. In Aramaic, it means abra. I create. Kedabra. When I speak, with speech. That's how God created the world, with speech. Kivyachol, in the matter of speaking. We can create all kinds of worlds with our speech. Let's embrace the power that we have in our speech. So we're using our speech for prayer, for Torah study, for good things. Let's be blessed. And let's see that this year should be blessed. All right, thank you. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe.